Today's Hafta is going to be a very special on the 600th episode where we will be discussing unpopular opinions that each of us has had or have. This Hafta we have the Hafta OGs. Today is a polite Hafta. I will not use any expletives either.
I give you 5 minutes.
कुछ तो मर्यादा रखिए, कुछ तो मर्यादा रखिए.
Problems that India faces now, social, economic, and increasingly administrative, one of the root causes of that is the idea of nationalism.
So I think travel is a hedonistic and consumeristic activity that has, in the public consciousness, acquired this aura of being something greater and more noble.
I mean, of course, I could not disagree more with you. Do you like travel? You don't seem the kind who enjoys travel much.
No, I like, but I don't have money for it.
Achha,
So,
but among the liberals, I think the description of snowflake is very accurate. I think they have the inability to have conversations with positions they can't agree with or people they can't agree with.
so the unpopular opinion here is there peer pressure to now like things.
Yeah, exactly. There is
Yeah.
a peer pressure to like things. Exactly. There is.
Yeah.
Or to dislike things. I think, and I say unpopular opinion to a grouping which since I identify as liberal, to the liberal grouping. Because of course, to the right, everything is unpopular opinion because I can't stand the right. I think they are small-minded, dim-witted idiots who are stuck in time. So, but among the liberals, I think the description of snowflake is very accurate. I think they have the inability to have conversations with positions they can't agree with or people they can't agree with. And this only comes from very short term. Like they would have seen 3 lectures or 3 articles of someone. I have decided this person is a bigot or this. There's no nuance. This cancel culture, that inability to have a conversation with someone you don't agree with on this issue, but maybe you have an agreement on some broader issues. Like you may have the same direction in the river, but are little eddies who may have counter currents on certain issues. I think this is a very typical liberal characteristic. It is a liberal characteristic of a certain age group. And it is especially prevalent and heightened in those who are in the journalist writer community and are very vocal on social media. And unfortunately, I think they should be taken seriously. They add very little to any intelligent discourse other than outraging and telling you who you should invite, who you should speak to, who you shouldn't speak to. And this all stems from them not being able to have a conversation with a position that they actually, in my view, cannot argue with. So the best way to do is cancel.
That's obviously, you see that everywhere now, but I think that is sort of if not the end point, but we're close to that of liberalism. The modern liberalism as it was conceived in Western academia to begin with, and then exported everywhere. So the idea of liberalism is that the individual is supreme. So when you elevate that individual beyond community, beyond any fetters of what was considered taboo before or whatever. So when you elevate that individual as the supreme, what do you call it? As the supreme deity in a way, what that does is that individual's desires, their concerns, their traumas, their triggers, those become paramount beyond everything else. So if you have 10 people and that one person says, okay, I'm triggered by this thing, because individual is beyond reproach, is beyond everyone, you have to defer to that. It doesn't matter, 9 people disagree, they differ. Another individual has another thing. So this is basically the hyper-individualization of society that liberalism has brought about. That is why, some of the commentators, especially in the West, what they're talking about now with this backlash around wokeism, around, transgender ideology and all that is basically the idea is that this is what we are entering now is the post-liberal world, where all these deities of liberalism will be kind of torn down one by one. And the other is that these become, in a sense, apolitical communities, right? The power is so diffused that there is no way of organizing. If you don't have a community, if 2 people in a society can't agree on a certain thing, one is triggered, one is not triggered, then you can't mobilize, which is necessary for building communities, building political movements.
Yeah, so, which also extends to this new fashion of before you give any news, trigger warning. This news contains violence. This news contains don't watch the news. If you get triggered by everything, sit home, read Charles Dickens. That will also trigger you because that also have violence and how orphans are treated in orphanages.
Charles Dickens has some of the most violence that you'll get in.
Yeah,
modern
maybe then you
writing.
should read Enid Blyton. But then that also may trigger you because of big ears and those other characters. With that, we also would like to tell you, people now finally are proud of supporting independent media. Those of you who've been supporting us for years have always been proud. We've always had those stickers, but now we are relaunching them. If you want to tell the world you support independent media, you are the ones holding the fourth pillar up. You are the pillars holding the fourth pillar up. Here, there are these stickers all over my face. If you're a subscriber already, mail us at subscription@newslaundry.com with the email, which is your subscription email, and we'll send you the set of stickers for free. You will please have to pay for the courier charges, because if several thousand people write into us, our courier charges will go into the lakhs. So pay the courier charge and we will send you the stickers for free. Stick it on your car, on your cycle, on your scooter, on your window, on your neighbor's car bumper. Tell the world that you pay to keep news free. Encourage others. And if you're a non-subscriber, we're offering you a discount. Here is the QR code. Scan the QR code or click on the link in the show notes and you will get this sticker set for free with the subscription along with the subscription, of course.
Trigger is also because I think taking a very high moral ground is the easiest way to
Exactly.
moral as to intellectual victories. So easy intellectual victories come with, say, taking high moral ground at the first instance in an argument.
Yeah, it's lazy because then you don't have to argue.
Yeah, because then you stick labels and stick labels that this is this, this is that, and then you don't have to argue further. If you divide something as hate and love, then you have to not argue anything. This person is hate-filled. Why I argued with him?
Yeah.
So
because the individual is the judge, jury, and
yeah,
executioner.
yes.
Right.
There is no outside standard that you have to conform to, right?
And
what you feel,
yes.
what you think, that is supreme beyond everything else. There is no kind of objective outside standard that you have to conform to. Which again, like I was saying, is sort of the endpoint of liberalism.
Yeah, Jayashree.
I think for me, I mean, see, it also comes down to what issues matter to you more than others. For some people, it's veganism. For some people, it's caste. For some people, it's, genocide, whatever. So you react to certain personalities based on where you stand in this hierarchy of what you see is most important. The second thing is the cancel culture as a phrase is something that I don't really think it exists to that extent. I think it is sort of rebranding accountability. I think getting arrested for doing something illegal isn't getting cancelled. You're just being arrested. Being blacklisted for saying a certain thing isn't being cancelled. You're just facing a consequence. And when we say blacklist also, it's like any vaguely negative outcome for something you have done. And it's so broad so as to even sort of defeat the purpose. I think we call it insidious because of this entire nature of people rallying against the woke left and so on. But I think it's troubling to also categorize angry people as the sort of mindless, hysterical mob. I think people are powerless in so many ways when you talk about inequality and injustice and, the daily grind, the lack of employment, the amount you're spending just for one single hospital visit. And you kind of like to believe you have the power to cancel someone who hurts you. You don't, because that's not how power works. But I think that's also why people respond the way they do